Hi, everyone. I'm here today with Patty Sneddon-Kisting from the Urbandale Food Pantry. And welcome, Patty.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Well, can you tell us how long has the food pantry been in existence?
Absolutely. So the Urbandale Food Pantry is a collaborative community food pantry that started back in 2008. It was a very organically grown food pantry that was open a couple days a week, helping the families in Urbandale and Windsor Heights. It continually started to grow a little bit. One of the biggest things that happened back in 2016 is Hunger-Free Polk County and the Urbandale Food Pantry became partners, which turned us into a border-free food pantry. So it also tripled the number of families that we serve every month.
Right.
And so as of today, it is a border-free food pantry, meaning we will serve anybody that comes to the pantry.
Oh, good. That was a question I was going to ask.
Yep, absolutely. Doesn't matter where you live. We'll definitely serve you.
Mm-hmm.
We see on average of about 1,200 families per month. And what we do is provide food assistance. We also have a personal hygiene pantry. We always make sure that we have milk. We also have diapers, wipes, and some
Right.
baby food as well. So some additional services just outside the scope of food assistance.
Well, right now we're going through the COVID-19 pandemic, and can you address a little bit about why the food pantries are hurting right now?
You know, it's been amazing to watch during all of this, the community come together, all of the pantries come together, and the work that we do to make sure that families have access to food. So
Right.
it has been great to see that happening between donations in the community, restaurants who have had to shut down, have called to offer the produce or their perishable items.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there's a lot of really great things that are happening. The hard part is that we don't know how long the coronavirus or COVID-19 is going to be around. And with people losing their jobs and being laid off, it is furthering some families' inability to meet basic needs. And it's also increasing limited income families. So
Right.
having access to food is going
Hmm.
to increase. It's one of the things that was, you know, that everybody talked about was schools closing. How are kids going to eat? There's a lot of families that rely on schools to provide breakfast, lunch, snack. And so the districts coming together and being able to provide those grab and go meals has been really beneficial.
Right.
All pantries, I think, across the board have had to kind of figure out ways to both think about the health and safety of their volunteers, their staff, the families,
Hmm.
and figure out a way to still provide food distribution.
Right.
So we have always been a choice pantry, meaning families come in and they pick out what they want. They go shopping behind me and they can pick out the items that they want. We have since had to move to a pre-made bag option. So I have a volunteer that comes in, and some of our board members at night after the pantry's closed will bag up the bags of food and the personal items for families. They can still pick their meat and some extra options that we have.
Hmm.
But I think all of the pantries are doing the best they can given the circumstances that we've been in. We don't know how long, though, access to certain foods is going to be available. I know that sometimes having access to rice, canned meats, tunas, canned vegetables,
Right.
as this goes on, it's potentially harder and harder to have access to some of those and get them in large quantities.
Well, I know a lot of the shelves in the grocery stores are empty. So,
Right.
it's where do you primarily get your food?
Yep. So all of the food that's like behind me that we provide for the 3-day supply. So when a family comes, we are a DMARC food pantry, meaning that families can check into the pantry once every calendar month. And
Right,
all of that food is provided by DMARC and the Food Bank of Iowa. We get about, I would say, 5,000-ish pounds of food between the two of them every week. And that food is what goes into those pre-made bags that we then hand out to the families.
right,
We at the Urbandale Food Pantry also have a very robust food recovery program. So we partner with local grocers and businesses that have food available and stuff that they would normally throw away. We have available on a daily basis that we're open. So in 2019, last year, we rescued over 170,000 pounds of food.
wow,
And
that's a
that's
lot.
food, yeah. And that is something that families can get on a daily basis that we're open. There's no check-in required.
Hmm.
So it's very neat how both the food we have from DMARC and the Food Bank of Iowa and the food recovery and the food rescue program that we have kind of supplement each other. The stuff, so we always have bread available. There's usually produce, sometimes milk, eggs, prepackaged meals. Those are available on a daily basis for families to just come up, grab. Like I said, no check-in required. So
Right.
it's unique how all of our food comes from a variety of different places.
Now
But like
you mentioned DMARC. Is
Mhm.
that, what does that stand for?
DMARC is the Des Moines Area Religious Council, and they are the food pantry network that we are a part of. There are 14 food pantries in the DMARC area, not including, they also have mobile food pantries as well.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, and so we also purchase milk from Hy-Vee, and so we have that available for families. And Hy-Vee is also one of those that has been great with being flexible on their deliveries. So if you go
Hmm.
on to Hy-Vee aisles and they're booked out for weeks, but are still able to um, make the effort to get us the milk that we purchase.
Oh, that's
We
nice.
Yeah, we also purchase personal hygiene. So I do have toilet paper
Oh,
that we,
wow.
yeah. And so those are pre-bagged. So every family gets a couple rolls of toilet paper, a thing of laundry detergent, and then an extra item like shampoo. I'm looking at the shelf right now. Shampoo, paper towels, deodorant, body wash, or just a random item. So we have that available as well. And then diapers. We always have diapers.
Right. I saw a thing on Facebook this morning that said my house was TP'd last night and now it's worth $875,000.
Probably. That is it.
That's a no, and I mean I don't understand why people are hoarding toilet paper, but
Toilet paper wouldn't be the first thing that I would go for,
no.
uh,
But anyway, well, I've heard stories of children who go to school and they eat at school on Friday and then they don't eat again till Monday till they go to school. And of
mhm.
course, the school's not in session right now. I imagine there are children that are going hungry.
I think that was the biggest concern in the community, especially for the youth. I know that the Urbandale Public Schools and many of the school districts are doing grab and go breakfast and lunches every single
Right,
day or on a schedule to try and make up for that or to supplement that to make sure that kids have food in their homes. Um,
hmm,
we have 1 in 3 of the families and the individuals that we serve at the Urbandale Food Pantry, 1 in 3 is a minor. Many of our families have children in them, and we do the best we can to give them as much food as possible to know
right.
and make sure that they have access to food.
Have a program I call Well Sell Houses for Food, and it's just a program that I have individually, but I've always wondered, is it better to give food or is it better to give money? And I donate part of my commissions from each sale to the local food banks. And one of the things that I learned was that by giving money to the food bank, they can buy food at a lot less cost than we can. So if you buy food and then donate it, it's better to give the money that you bought the food with, because you can buy food cheaper than we can.
We can.
Yeah.
I would say across the board, monetary donations are always appreciated, and definitely during this time, very much so needed. I do get boxes from Amazon pretty frequently, and people will go on and buy 6 tubs of peanut butter and send them to me. Or,
Oh, nice.
I got a box with toilet paper in it. We got an amazing community that supports us and provides, if our miscellaneous shelf is not full with, hamburger helper and boxed dinners, macaroni and cheese, different things like that. There's so many people in the community that will go out, purchase those items, and drop them off. I think any type of a donation helps. Monetary donations do allow us to purchase things at a reduced price.
Right.
And because we don't know how long this is going to go on, making sure that we have the ability to stay open.
Exactly. Well, we were talking earlier, you became the executive director in September of last year. So you were just thrown right into the fire.
I started right before the holidays. You already had kind of trial by fire with the holidays right there. It's the season of giving. It's also an increase in services. During the month of November, we hand out a turkey to every single family that checks in. So that month, we checked in over 1,400 families. So that was already kind of throwing myself in there.
Right.
I got maybe a month in January where I was like, okay, we can kind of learn some new things.
Relax a little bit.
Well, yeah, there was no relaxing. Everybody kept saying it'll slow down, but it didn't. And then a global pandemic hits. And so that too, we had to make a lot of changes to make sure that we were able to continue to provide food distribution. And we at the Urbandale Food Pantry have over 170 volunteers that work pretty regularly on a monthly basis. Everything from driving to pick up deliveries, stocking shelves, shopping with our families, weighing in food donations, everything. And because of them, we are able, it's just me and 3 part-time staff. So we're able to have a very lean organization. But just because of the growing concern of exposure, we had to make the conscious decision to suspend all of our volunteer shifts right now. And so there's the work of many is being done by a few of us.
Right.
And so,
well, I really appreciate what you're doing, and of course, it just puts a full load on you. But I was wondering if you'd have the opportunity to just, we're doing this video on by computer, but if you would maybe do some videos and send them to me, and we could attach those to this, and we could kind of look around the food pantry a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, all right, well, that would be great.
This is our shopping area where we bag up all of the pre-made bags of food, the non-perishable items. Everything is based off of the size of your household. So from families of 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to families of 10. Our miscellaneous shelf to give some extra items for everyone. This is our backstock area, which at the very moment, because we just got a food order in, has a lot of stuff, but we'll go through most of this next week.
Patty, I want to thank you for being here today and joining me on this video conferencing. And certainly what's the best way for people to help the Urbandale Food Pantry right now?
Yeah, so you can contact me through Facebook, through our website. There's links for donations. If you need food and need access to food, you can call. You can send a direct message through Facebook. There's a contact us link on the website as well. That's www.urbandalefoodpantry.org.
And then what's your phone number?
515-251-6688.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Again, Patty, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Mhm.
And hopefully this will end soon.
We hope so. We definitely
Yes.
hope to kind of get back to some normal ways, but we're
Right.
here in the fight till the end.
Well, my wife and I are kind of self-quarantining, and we're becoming bored at this point.
But a lot of people are.
Right, right. Well, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.